Hi, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, my name's Katie. I am a classical flutist living in New York City. Hi, this is Editing Katie from the future. This is another older vlog that's from March, and I'm just getting caught up before Vlogmas this year. So just so there's no confusion, but yeah, so back to the video. And I'm in a bit of a rut these past few days. And I thought honestly that maybe vlogging would help bring me out of that, hold me a bit accountable. So I'm a freelance musician, which means that I do a combination of a bunch of different things. I play with different ensembles, I co-direct a collective with a friend, I also do a lot of teaching, and of course all my social media stuff. So I have a different schedule every day, and it can be really challenging. And I'm someone that does really well with routine, and this week I haven't had any performances, just preparing for the next things that are coming up, and now my schedule for the rest of the month is starting to look a little more clear. But it can just be so challenging when you're going from concert to concert and not necessarily knowing how the rest of your month is going to pan out, and that's just freelance life. Yeah, I think over the years I've gotten a lot better at just kind of going with the flow, but it still can present its challenges for me. And this week has been an example of feeling a little like lost about the next things that I have coming up. And also we had a big concert at the end of last month. For me, and I think for a lot of musicians, I don't know if we talk about this enough, but it's always very challenging to have this moment of coming back down after having a performance, to have this moment of having to, okay, come back down to more normal things, or maybe having less things going on after a big performance. And I'm just still learning to navigate this. So if you are too, you're in the right place. Welcome. But this week, I felt like maybe I didn't get as many things done as I wanted to. That could also be me being a little bit hard on myself, a little bit of black and white thinking. That seems to be my favorite. But yeah, I thought I would take you along for a few days in my life as a classical musician in New York, and it's kind of just a random little vlog. But right now, I think I'm gonna try to just get my day more together. I did a lot of work in a cafe this morning, editing, answering emails. I find that getting out of the apartment and doing work somewhere else really helps as a freelancer. So just got a rejection email. This is the path of an artist. But this one kind of hurts a bit. It was for a grant for the Sonora Collective that I co-direct, and we got the notification that the grant that we applied to for this year's funding, that we did not get any funding. And this was one that we were hoping to get since we got it last year. We were hoping we were still a good fit for it, but alas. And you know, it's one of those rejection letters. It's like, this year we had more applicants than ever before, blah, 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 you know, and even if it's true, it still sucks, you know. But allowing myself to feel annoyed, to feel a little down about it for the next few minutes or so, but then gonna go back to just moving on, because, you know, that's just, it's, like I said, it's part of the life of an artist. It's part of the life of a musician. And there's other grants. There are other sources for funding out there. But yeah, it doesn't ever really suck less, I feel. But I think maybe it's just like you learn to move on a lot quicker than in the very early stages of your musician career or your musician journey. But now, moving on, we're actually working on writing some paragraphs and submitting some information to a prospective foundation. So, you ever spend an hour listening to your old recordings and just thinking, I need to practice. Like, I know rationally there's more to life than music, but it's just really hard when you love music so freaking much. It like becomes part of you. You can't separate it. I don't know. How did I even get on this topic? Hi, so ignore that jackhammering outside, just New York City things. So on today's agenda, we have quite a few things. I want to record my Kummer etude of the week. Very behind at this point, but we are still working through that book. Hopefully the jackhammering will stop. Let's see how that goes, but hopefully, I think I can put the microphone close enough that it shouldn't pick that up too much. I also want to record a video, like a sit-down talking video about things that I've learned in music school that I've been planning on making for a few weeks now. My friend Sungwoo Steven, he is the coordinator for this competition for the Seattle Flute Society, and I'm helping with the preliminary adjudication, so I need to listen to a lot of recordings and go through those and help select the people that move on to the next round. Feels like a lot of responsibility, so taking that very seriously. Need to listen very attentively and make sure I have enough time to do that. I also want to build this shoe cabinet. Last night I built one of them. It took me a long time. My husband left to go play Turandot at the Met, and when he came home I had finally just finished it, so that's a considerable amount of time. There's a lot of steps and a lot of parts, but I love putting together these like IKEA type furniture things, but this one was just like, it had a lot of steps. It was a lot, but I did it. So I want to put together the other one today. So lots to do today. Flute player problems. The dreaded gray mark on the chin. That was difficult, but I did it. I hope. I think I finally got an okay take, but whew, that etude, difficult just to keep these lines so sustained, and I don't know. Yeah. Just finished recording the things I learned in music school video. I've been talking too much. I am dead. Talking at the camera and remembering the things you're gonna say, it takes a lot of concentration. I'm tired, but I think I'm gonna go start working on building that shoe cabinet. And maybe it's partially because I'm procrastinating practicing. This has to become this. Okay, 25 steps. Let's do it.
Completely disrespects me repeatedly, and
to try to get the understanding so that try not to have any bias.
about 10 a.m. and in a little bit I'm gonna go leave to meet up with my friend Julia, who I run this chamber music collective with. You're being so hyper. Somebody wants attention. Hey! He's got the morning hyperness. Cannot relate to that, but okay. Anyway, we're gonna go meet up because we're gonna check out this new art gallery that's interested in having us for a concert. With our chamber music collective, we mostly play in art galleries or other unique spaces, visually interesting spaces. So this gallery reached out to us back in February. They had this new exhibition, and the artist was really inspired by the Bach violin partitas. So she got to play some Bach, and it turns out that they enjoyed that and that they want to have our full collective for a concert, which is so cool. So this morning we're gonna see the space, and we're also gonna get to talk to the artist whose work is currently being displayed and kind of get to talk to him and hopefully collaborate on the musical program with him. And then after that, I'm going to go meet up with Jeremías to go bow hunting. If you weren't a string player, that probably sounds really strange. Not hunting with a bow. But he's been looking for a new bow, and I've gone with him over the past few weeks as he's been trying out a bunch of different options, and yeah, it's a process. And especially after he listened to me try headjoints and flutes for a gazillion hours at the flute center back in January, I'm like, okay, I have to do my duties now. I just got these new sunglasses. What do we think? Too pink? Too dramatic? Because that's the vibe I was going for. Okay, let's go. Good morning. Groundhog.
Oh, that's, wait, what?
The groundhog didn't say.
Spring is 21.
So I'm just getting some practicing in before I have to teach later tonight. And I thought I'd show you what's currently on my music stand. And by what's on my music stand, I mean what's on my iPad. So I am subbing with the Reading Symphony Orchestra next week. And on the program is Sibelius Violin Concerto. Not too much for the second flute part in here, but should still be fun. Then we've got the Overture to Hansel and Gretel by Humperdinck. And I actually played this opera back during my time in Boston in my undergrad. Then we've got Beethoven Symphony No. 6 Pastoral. I've played this piece a lot. I've played first flute, second flute, and even the piccolo part, which is one of the most boring parts for piccolo to play ever, because you sit and you wait and you wait and you get to play only for a few measures during the storm. So I'm glad that I'm playing flute too, somewhere in the middle of having a lot to do and having not very much to do. So tell me in the comments, which is your favorite Beethoven symphony? I'm curious to know. It's hard for me to pick, but I'd say mine is number 7. And then we've got a piece by Samuel Barber, First Essay for Orchestra. Lots of rests to count in here. And then this weekend, I am coaching some students from the Charles Ives Music Festival, which is a festival that I teach at in Connecticut during the summer, but they also have a winter workshop. So this is the music that they're playing for that. So I do need to actually download the score to make sure that I have that for when I'm coaching the students. But one of my flute students actually was supposed to be playing, but she's no longer able to play for the concert. So I'm filling in for her and I need to learn her part. She's left me some notes in here, which is very great. Thank you, Carson. So this is a wind quintet by Danzi. Love playing wind quintet. That is something that I did not appreciate enough during my undergrad, and now I'm just like dying to play in a wind quintet. And we've also got this piece by Ibert. This one looks a little tricky. I have never played this actually, so I'm gonna have to practice. And then finally, the other things that I'm currently working on, we decided on our program today after meeting at the gallery and with the artist, and we're going to be repeating some things from our program that we had back in February. So we've got the Ginastera, we've got the Divien duo for flute and viola, and then the other piece that I'm in, we are gonna do the Vivaldi, the Goldfinch Concerto. So I have to start looking at this, and yeah, lots of notes in here, but should be really fun.